everyone, it's Andrea and welcome back to my channel, Girl Plus Paper. In this video, I'm going to be working on our Backyard Bliss scrapbooking workshop layout number 2. If you've already joined me for layout number 1, here it is. Here's a look at it. It goes this way, or you could switch and put the title this way. And as I explained in the first video, I've gone ahead and I have pre-cut for all 3 layouts at once. And I then sort the base pages and all of the embellishments and the cut paper into baggies. So I have everything that we are going to need in baggie number 2. So let me go ahead and pull in the base pages. I'm just going to set my instructions aside. I do have just a little bit of adhesive on each of these mats. This one seems to have lifted off. And I put down that adhesive because I find it's easier when working with my Versamat to go ahead and to just lightly adhere my paper down. Okay, so I have this beautiful background sheet here. You could go ahead and use this pretty green color if you'd like. We're going to use this beautiful viney paper. So I have that down. This side on the right hand page, we're going to have just a white daisy cardstock sheet. There we go. And I'm going to just flip to the instruction sheet here. And this is all the cutting guide. Talked about that in layout number 1. And we're going to work on the left page first and then the right page. However, I do want to get this big sheet of cardstock right here adhered down. So let's build this big piece. We're going to put this down so it's out of my way and our bases are good to go. And then we'll just read through together. We'll read through these instructions and I will show you how I'm going to go about putting them together. So here we are. It tells me that I'm going to need to sponge white daisy circle die cut with papaya ink as shown. It's this one right here in the middle. So I'm going to pull that out. I have all of the die cuts that I'll need in this bag. And actually, I'm going to pull out this big one too. Now, at first I thought, okay, I'm going to punch these out. But why do they print project number 2 right there on my workshop sheet here, my die cut sheet? Well, because this is the back of it. It took me a moment to figure that out. You don't want to see all of these colored circles. You just want plain white. And there's like this rim that's left behind when we punch these out. And that's why they printed. So you know to flip. And one last one here. I did remove a couple of these because I think they belonged in project number 3. I could be wrong. We might be going back to grab them. So here we have the overlay. I'm going to set that aside. And right now I'm just focusing on finding the little pieces that we're going to need. So we've got a little static going on. These bags are nothing special. You can see they're just from like some glitter paper that I've already used up. I just hold on to my bags and I kind of recycle them. This is the die cut that they're referring to. There was a circular die cut on one of my sheets. I'm going to use, you're supposed to use some papaya ink. I actually have just peach ink and I'm going to use that. If you have one of these brushes, like I said, close to my heart's going to be carrying some of these brushes in the future. You could definitely use those and lay down some color that way. Actually, that's a nice soft way to do it. In the first video, I showed you how to use the sponge and to create a stipply kind of look. But in this one, I'm just going to use my brush. That gave me a very nice look and I'm very happy with it. It now says, attach photos behind openings of white daisy die cut overlay. That is number 2. So here we are. And it looks like we have photos in the 4 corners. And I do have some photo mats. That means that since I'm using photo mats and not my actual photos, I'm going to have to be careful because I don't want to seal down this whole project. I want to be able to lift it up so that I can then insert my own photos. So I'm just going to go ahead and tack these down lightly. And although I've sped the video up at this point, you are always more than welcome to pause to catch up if you so desire. I'm just tacking these down lightly so they can be removed at a later date. And then we're going to move on to some of the other pieces. We need to cut one papaya circle die cut in half. So I have the papaya circle right here. And what I don't know if I have is a cutter. So I'm just going to go ahead and let's see. You think I can do this straight? If not, you can always improvise. Just going to turn this over. I'm going to lay that right here. And then I'm just going to draw a circle about in half. Or I'm going to draw a straight line through my circle to divide the circle in half. And then I'm just going to cut on it. Just like we were tracing in school. I'm cutting out that pattern. Okay. So we have that. At this point, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these little pieces we've just prepped. I'm going to shake them onto the other side here. Let's just move those over. You see I've got just some random die cuts here. Because everything else should just fit right into the little openings of this overlay. Just going to straighten this out. Okay, so it looks like we have about 1/2 inch on all sides. Then we're going to put this down. And like I said, I'm going to add some adhesive in the top corners. I want to be able to slide some of these photos out. Slide some of these photos in, I should say. The other thing I could do is probably cut these photos in a circle shape and just put them in from the front like we're going to do on some of these. So I'm actually going to just go ahead and we're going to pick up these shortbread circles. So in last video, I was calling this like butter something. It's shortbread. It's okay. You know what I meant, like these buttery yellow. They're really pretty. They really are the color shortbread. Next, we're going to get this circle together, the center circle. So we have the shortbread, we have this pretty papaya, and then we have the round circle. Now, if you'd like, you could pop various layers here. And you know me, I'm always up for popping, but I think that I'm going to put the first layer, this flower, right down. There's centers you could pop out here, but I'm going to actually leave my center right in. And I'm just going to try to center right in the middle. And I think that'll make this project look a little better. Maybe, you know what? I'm going to just keep this one flat too. No, you don't often hear me say that, but, and then you have a choice. I'm going to make mine kind of offset so that when you have a valley, you have a mountain of this next papaya color. And now I'm going to go ahead, find that circle that we just colored with our ink, and I'm going to actually lay down some foam on there. So let's just cut a few pieces here. That's going to be the center of that flower. I think that's fun. It kind of reminds me of like a firework exploding, but in pretty pastel colors. Okay. Now we have some leaves that go in there as well. And at this point, I have really kind of stopped reading along with the instructions because I think it's one of those things, visual is going to work for us. So this is just going to go in back here. And it looks like the tip just overlaps this photo mat up here just a bit. And then let me pull in another leaf. I'm just going to add a little green glue down here too. And that one is going to go right under here. and it's going to go up and it's going to overlap these two just a tiny bit. Okay, so far so easy. Now this papaya circle that we have, I'm going to put half. Let's see if one half's bigger. I guess they're both about the same. One half is going to go right here. Just try to make it as straight as possible. You could use the vines to do that as well. And I'm going to try to find this triple heart, which I think is right back here. This was a die cut piece that I punched out. Add just a little glue to the edges here. And then that is going to go up here. Again, if you wanted to reserve this for another photo spot, you could definitely do that. And maybe use the hearts somewhere else. But I think it looks pretty this way. Okay. And we are getting closer. I have one of our purple punch outs from one of our last layouts. And that would go right about in the center. In fact, it looks to be like a little bit of a bigger purpley heart. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a bigger one. These are left from that big heart overlay in layout 1. And so now it's up to me to decide which ones I want to use. And so I'll put that right there. Oh boy, it's really hard to see. I think that this is another little heart that we've punched out. So I'm just going to pick one up here that I like. I'm going to use that one. And we'll just use a little foam tape. If we get to the point where, you know, I've used something that maybe I shouldn't have, maybe this is it. Let's see. Yeah, this one looks more to scale of the picture. So if I use something accidentally in one layout, that's okay. If I use a heart here that I was supposed to use on a future page, I'm going to just go with it. It's not something that stresses me. So I just want you guys to know that about me. And I'm going to try to find this little flower here. And it looks like it's about this size next to the word heart. So this one looks like it goes about there. I've got pieces here. We have some tiny little ones too. And it looks like maybe we should pull off the ones that are next to the word with. Got a little tiny baby flower and then a medium flower right there. Okay. So let's see. I don't know, girls. Maybe I've done this backwards, but you know, it's okay. Let's just do it. I'm just going to put a little glue right here. Little glue. Put this right about there. In fact, I did these backwards. This little one is supposed to go right in here. This one's supposed to go up there. And then we have some punch outs down here with some stickers, but I'm going to hold off putting that on for just a moment. I'm going to come over to my sticker sheet and I'm going to find the word joy right here. I'm going to carefully lift that off my sticker sheet. I have the center to the Y still attached, so I'm going to stick that back down. And it looks like that is just going to go right across here. Actually, the center to my J is stuck there as well. I'm going to have to remove that. Let's punch that out. There we go. Get that sticker unstuck from my finger. And then we need this Grow Giggles because that's going to belong right there. I think that that should be something that's popped up as well. I'm just going to take a piece of tape and cut it up here. You don't have to pop up, but I think it's so pretty when you do. that right there. And now I just need to find the dot for my J on our sticker sheet, which is right here. And we'll go ahead and add that. And then it looks like we just have, oh, we have a little bird up here, little blue bird. He's right here. And he's just kind of sitting up here. Kind of feel like he needs a little foam tape too, don't you think? I think he could benefit from a little lift. That bird to feel like he's flying off the page. I'm just giving him a bit of foam tape. Okay. So he's going to go right there. Okay, so that leaves this little punch out, but I know a lot of the other ones are going to get layered on the other page, so I'm just going to hold off putting one of those down for just a moment, and I'm going to start working on our right-hand page. Flip this over, and let's see. So we've used the white daisy for our base page. We have attached our piece 2A. I should also mention, as you're going through, you'll see when we do our cutting that you've got like 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. Well, everything for 1 goes on the first pile of layouts for layout number 1. But then that A, B, C, D, E, that all gives you the direction as to how you're going to put those down. So A is going to be the first thing you put down on your layout, and then B, and so forth. This way, if there's any layering, it's in order. So it's just a very important thing to remember. It is saying that we need to attach 2A and then attach the circle die cuts as shown. So I now have a few die cuts that I need to sneak in up here. We're going to just lay out these circles. I'm going to start at the top and the bottom. I have them coming out to just about the 8.5 inch mark. And we'll have just a little gap in between them. And the last one, sneak that in. There we go. We're going to seal it all up with this beautiful striped zip strip. It'll just run right along the edge. Now these circles feel like half circles, which looks pretty good to me. In fact, this one, I just want to see if I can just shake it out just a tiny bit more. There we go. We have our photo mats and photo placeholders. Those will go on next. Move everybody over here. That's got to be over there. And it's telling me that my photo should be about 1/4 inch in from the edge, and I should start about 1 3/4 inches down. There we go. 1 3/4 down from the top and about 1/4 inch in. I'm going to put this one, it's about 1/4 inch apart from the one above it. And there we go. We're just going to put the placeholders on. If you have your photos, you can go ahead. Like I said, you can put your 4x6 photos on. Just going to hold my places here with these placeholders that come in the kit. I haven't decided quite what I'm going to do with these layouts yet. Usually, I go ahead and I share them with my girls and let them see what the artwork looks like and let them decide if they want to put their own photos on layouts like these. And then eventually, when I'm done showing my scrapbookers, then I go ahead and I use these for my own scrapbooking layouts. And so I always have just a little time to decide what I'm going to put on them. This goes, oh, just about there. And then we have one more leaf cluster right here. Looks like I got some glue down there as well. a little messy with the glue. And this was meant to slide behind. And of course I've adhered it all down. So I'm just going to lift that up. And let's see. Looks like it goes something like this. The other part of greenery that I saw right there is actually a sticker. So I'm going to pull in the sticker sheet. It's going to be this sticker. Looks like we also have, though, a purple die cut here, and then a couple wooden banner pieces. So let's go ahead and look for this purple first. I'm going to slide that up. And under here, looks like it goes very close to the bottom. Looks good to me. And I'm going to pull in 2 of these banner pieces down here at the bottom. Okay, I've freed those up, and they're going to go right next to it. I'm going to put those right about here. Looks like this one goes down further. And then this one's up just a tiny bit higher. Let's put a little tape on here. This one goes down just a little bit. This one's up just a tiny bit, about 1/8 of an inch. Not a big deal. I'm going to find our little shortbread banner here that says Simple Pleasures. It's the name of my friend Denise's paper crafting team group. Here we go. This could be perfect for Denise's her layouts that she does, if she has any with her girls. So I'm just going to cut this down again. You guys know I love foam taping these little banner pieces up. Cut one more piece here. There we go. This is going to go right here. Let's see, put it up about there. And then we have our big sticker right here. I feel like this too definitely needs some foam tape. So we'll sticker that just a bit. Put some foam tape down. Fingers are really sticking to it. And you know what I'm going to do? Just take a look at the placement of this when I bring in this sheet. So this flower is going to go about here. And I want to keep the foam on these 2 pieces here because this is going to go over my photo. And I want to be able to slide my photo in. So I'm just going to remove the backing from just the bottom pieces. It'll still hold it, but that'll allow me to slide my photo in behind here when I'm ready to do so. We have this piece right here. This is going to get a piece of foam tape too. Now, if you watched video number 1, there was 2 of these little snowflake things, I called them. And one was marked, they were both marked project number 2, but I did put one on project number 1. And that's okay because I do have a second one right here for project number 2. So I'm just going to adhere that down. Go ahead and just give this some liquid glue. This is going to go right on the center. You could definitely pop that up if you wanted to. I'm just going to lay it flat since I popped up the other. Just straighten that out there. Want it to look nice and straight. And now I just have to find a heart. I have a shortbread colored heart. I'm going to put that right there. Put that on a piece of foam. So this will go right here. And now remember how I told you guys that we had lots of these little bursts? I'm going to try to figure those out quick. So it seems that we have one here that has our shortbread color. And that is going to go right about here. I'm just going to put just a touch of glue. That'll go right over there. And then on top of it, we have a burst that has some green. So look through all the bursts that you have. So this one is like a grayish color, purpley color. This is a big one. I need this smaller green one. And you could definitely foam tape this if you wanted. So let's just get a little square foam tape. So I'm cutting off just a little piece, and I'll cut that again so I have just a little square. Pick up this burst, and we're going to line it up so that they're offset. This one's a little too high up. Lower it just a bit, and I have my first burst done. That was a mouthful. Second burst, we need the darker green. Just going to put a little bit on here. And this one's going to go like right about here. I have to find a little wooden one, which could be any of these. It could be this pretty pink one. And in fact, it probably is. Now, if I wanted, instead of doing the wood, I could definitely do the pink. But I'm going to go ahead and do the wood because I feel like we have enough of this color here. We have enough papaya all over this page that it's okay if I go ahead and just use the wood, because I really do need to bring some of the wood elements across from, you know, the other page here. Now, what do we have left? We have another little burst. This one is just wooden, so we'll go ahead and use this one. It's kind of plain, so that can go right down here. And we are supposed to have a dark green heart right in the center. So I have that right here. Of course, that needs foam tape too. We'll cut a little square of foam tape off. Now I know we're going in like slow motion here, but I want you to be able to like create along with me. I didn't want to go so fast and have these videos so edited that you couldn't create in real time with me. And I hope we're accomplishing that. So now this leaves this burst right here. And that burst is supposed to go right down here. And I'm actually going to put some foam tape on it. It's supposed to be wooden side up. So it's going to go right about down here. And then we have to find a little sticker. Looks like a little teensy tiny blue flower right here. Once again, you could use foam tape. I'm okay with having a couple layers of foam tape on my projects. Any more than 2 isn't good, but 2 is enough. It'll squish down in my album, and so I'm not too worried about the height. There we go. I like the dimension. And then, let's see. It looks like we missed one little green heart for up in the corner there. And I'm just trying to find one. I'm going to use this little purple one instead. See if I can get the foam tape on there. Keep it hidden. So this will go right up here. And then we need one of those microscopic little hearts. And we were supposed to have a purple one, but then again, I just used purple. So here's a little green one. We'll go ahead and put a dot right here. We'll put that one down. Wanted that to be straight. Okay, so I think we have all of the elements of the left-hand page done. And now we have just a few little details left to the right now that we've got those bursts sorted out. This is supposed to be, green up here. And I'm going to go rogue. I was going to flip it, but now I see that there is a little tiny piece. We're supposed to put a wooden accent up there. So yeah, you know what? Let's stick to the green facing up. These are where my creative decisions come in. And you know what? I'm going to leave this off. It's supposed to be green. I hope you guys can see that. Green side up. You're supposed to back it with some solid colored hearts here and then put a little wooden tab right there. I'm going to leave off the piece. I'm making an executive decision. I often do that. And it looks like it's this piece right here, this tab. And this tab was supposed to go over this green. And honestly, it's just a little too busy for me. So I think I'm going to just take this one out and I'm just going to go with that. It's your layout. If you want to go ahead and you want to add those green hearts and fill those in, it is the set of green hearts. And then you're going to have a shortbread, a dark green, and then the purpley, like wisteria colored hearts to fill in, like these. So you would just line those up and put those up there. You'll see it in your directions. I decided that wasn't for me. I didn't like it. I'm going to leave it off. It's not doing anything. I think it's taking away. Sometimes too much is just too much with these layouts. And I'm really happy with the way they turned out. I hope you guys are too. A little piece sticking up here now, so I'm just going to glue that back down. And this is layout number 2. I really can't tell you how much I love these layouts. Now that you've built those with me in person, I hope that the dimension and everything comes through. And as we look through the artwork, I just want to say thank you for joining me to make layout number 2. You can look back on layout number 1, or you can jump ahead to layout number 3, which will be up next. If you've not yet done so, please hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my future projects. Thanks for watching. Have a creative day.